All righty. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Looks like we have 5 people here. If the audio is okay, video's good, all is well, please let me know in the live chat. Just give it a thumbs up or whatever you want to do so that we can get things started here. So I'm going to talk about what to do for holiday deadlines and just tips for that. How do you prep for it? Things that are necessary to really have a smooth quarter 4. But if the audio is good, please let me know in the live chat. Give me a thumbs up, and then I will go ahead and carry on with this as people start to come in. Testing. All right. So I have 3 people in. For the 3 that are in here, please let me know in the live chat that you can hear me, you can see me, all is clear, and then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, awesome. So we got 1 thumbs up. Okay, so we will go ahead and get started here. If you have questions about anything today related to print on demand, selling on Etsy, or anything, I will be happy to answer them after I give my tips on what to do for holiday deadlines. So please ask in the live chat those questions, and I'll answer them the best that I can. If I don't have an answer for you, I'll be sure to answer that either in my Facebook group after this live stream or in the comment section down below of this video. So we'll go ahead and get started. Maybe we'll wait for just a few more people here. So we have 3 people here. Let me know who's here. Who's my other 2 that are here? We have Lauren. All right. Well, we'll just go ahead and get started then. Okay. So we have, okay, Connie, awesome. Thank you for being here and for tuning in. So we will start talking about what we want to do and how we want to prep for the holidays. Halloween's coming up in just a month. Then we have Thanksgiving, and then we have Christmas, which is a huge time for selling on the Etsy marketplace and doing really any type of e-commerce. But there's things that you need to do in order to have a smooth transition through quarter 4. The first thing that I highly suggest doing on your Etsy shop is making sure your customers know about the deadline. So you will have a deadline. You can only sell up to 2 to 3 weeks out from the actual holiday. That way, it'll allow for fulfillment times and for shipping times. So most customers who order from you, they're going to want to receive their product by that date. So by Halloween, by Thanksgiving, by Christmas, and you need to let them know that you do have a 2 to 7 fulfillment time and then a 3 to 5 shipping time or whatever it is, whatever provider that you're using. You need to let them know that. So be very clear about it. And then with this on also, this is why you need to get your designs up early. So you want to have your designs up a month or 2 in advance for that holiday. If you haven't started designing for Halloween yet, no, it's not too late, but yes, you're pushing it close. So you want to get started on Halloween as well as get your fall stuff up for Thanksgiving. And then you can even start beginning on Christmas so that you'll have time for your listings to gain ranking and to start showing up in first pages of search results, start getting sales, reviews, all of the necessary things to really take or help your designs to take off. Um, so a few tips for talking about making sure your customers know about a deadline is first, I suggest having a listing photo within your listing photos of specifically when your shipping deadline is or when your order deadline is for that holiday. You're going to also talk in that about that if it's not going to arrive by then, that it's not on you, that they are supposed to be aware of this. And then also have it be specific. If you're selling internationally, let them know if you're selling internationally or if you're selling just to the US, the difference in processing times and shipping times for that. Next is in your description, you want to have your deadline date. So in your Etsy listing description, you need to have a deadline date, and you can easily do this by using the Etsy's bulk editing tool. This is in when you're going to, so on your Etsy Shop Manager dashboard, go to your listings, and then when you bulk edit listings, you can easily edit all of your descriptions for whatever holiday it is that you're designing for, and so that you can adjust your description so that it has the deadline date in it. And that way, there'll be another place where customers will be able to read and be aware of and be notified of your order deadlines. And then another great thing is in your shop announcement with the deadline date. So at the top of your Etsy shop in big bold letters, you can even use whatever you want it to be, emojis or whatever it is to make it stand out. Okay, you need to order by this date in order to receive it by Halloween or by Thanksgiving or whatever it is. You want that in the announcement so that they know exactly when things are being shipped out, how long it'll take for shipping, etc. Okay, and then the another tip that I did last quarter four, which really helped and really made it clear for my customers, is I turned on personalization for all of my listings for the holidays, and even not just my specific listings for the holidays, because people would order stuff from my shop that wasn't holiday related for gifts for especially for Christmas. But in the personalization box, I would have that turned on, and then I'd have some sentence to the effect of, "Please type yes below to confirm. I understand that if I order after the holiday shipping deadline has passed, I may not receive this item before Christmas. Orders cannot be canceled once printing begins," or however you want to structure it. Just have it in there so that they have to type yes and make it required for them to fill out the personalization. They have to type yes, and so that you know, okay, they agreed to this. They know if they order it after a deadline or close to it, that they may not receive it on time, just so that it's on both sides, so that they can't later, if it doesn't arrive on time, they can't come after you and say, "Hey, where's my item? It's a day before Halloween or whatever. I haven't received it yet." So that's another great tip that I highly suggest doing to help really have things clear for you and your customers. Okay. So I'm talking about what to do for holiday deadlines right now. If you have questions, please throw them up in the live chat. I will be answering questions here shortly after I share a few more tips on how to prep for quarter four. So another thing that you may run into is stock issues during the holidays. I know I've seen in the Facebook group and on my channel people talking about this already, that things are going out of stock, specific colors, specific products, and it will happen. It's going to happen. Last year was a nightmare, but mostly due to other things. But I think it will probably happen again this year, unfortunately. But hopefully they'll be on top of it so that it won't be as chaotic. But you just need to prep for this, be aware of this, know that things could potentially go out of stock. If they go out of stock, if you're using Printful, usually Printful will update it for you on your Etsy end, so it'll be marked as sold out, so they won't be able to purchase it. But I'd always double check if you realize something has gone out of stock, or if Printful or Printify has emailed you notifying you that things have gone out of stock. Make sure you immediately mark it out of stock. Don't risk it thinking that maybe they're going to get it in stock soon, because more likely than not, it will be longer than you expect, unfortunately. So mark it out of stock so that no more customers can order it, and so that you're not dealing with a ton of customer service, and it'll just be a huge headache in the long run. So just be on top of it. Be aware of things that go out of stock. Um, Something with stock issues is you can consider using a smaller local print provider as backup as well. So someone nearby to you, so someone in your town or neighboring city, or even somewhere across the state, just a backup facility that can do fulfillment for you as extra backup in case Printful or Printify doesn't have the item, and they could be someone that you could turn to. Okay. Um, let's see here. Okay, and then last tip I have for you, and then I'll start answering questions, is make sure your shipping and processing times are accurate and reflect your provider's actual turnaround time. And this will change throughout the next few months. Printful will update their shipping times and or their fulfillment times. So you just need to be aware of this and always be editing it so that customers know that your exact turnaround times before they'll receive their item. Because the holidays are so crazy, so you want to make sure that everything is accurate in your shop so that you won't have upset customers, and it'll just save for a lot of customer service on the back end. Okay, so those are a few tips to be prepared for the holidays. Just the biggest overall thing, just make sure your customers know your deadlines, be on top of out of stock issues, and just really work with your customers closely so that they have no questions on when they'll receive it. And you're still going to get orders where people will order a few days before the holiday expecting to receive them. You can just message them and notify them, say, "Hey, you may not receive this in time. We just want you to be aware of this. Would you like to continue with your order? If not, we can cancel it." So just be prepared mentally and have all of your things in line so that you're ready to go for quarter four. And be excited for these last few months of the year, because it is by far the best time of the year to be selling on any e-commerce platform, especially on the Etsy marketplace. Last year, quarter four was by far our best time in sales. It's just a huge spike where people are doing online shopping, and it's a great opportunity for you to make a lot of good money selling on Etsy with your print-on-demand store. So I do want to answer questions now. If you have questions, please throw them up in the live chat. I will be answering any question that you have. And if you haven't yet, um, Please make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so that you can know when I put out new content. I post every week. I go live every other week. And also make sure you jump in my Facebook group, Print on Demand Warriors. The link is in the description. It's a great place to be a part of a community that is like-minded, doing the same thing as you, where you can get answers or questions answered that you may have that other people have gone through or have experienced. And there's just a lot of cool people in there and a great positive community. All right, so we'll start getting into questions here. So we have Jay's Phantom Nation. What advice do you have in regards to pricing of items in your shop? Anything to look out for? I'm asking because I use Printful for my new Etsy shop. I know both companies take a cut from my profit. Okay, so pricing, Jay's, for sweatshirts, if you're selling the Gildan 18,000, you can sell those sweatshirts anywhere between $32 and $40. It's a crew neck sweatshirt. For hoodies, you can sell them for even more, $40 to $50. You'll be surprised what people are willing to pay for an item as long as your design is very good and it's something that they want. Okay. And then for your t-shirts, I personally sell the Bella Canvas 3001. People have success with the Gildan. You can price those anywhere between $23 to $28. It's just a matter of experimenting and seeing what works best for you and your shop. But I've easily sold shirts for $25 in that range, in that price range, and people buy them with no question. And then with that too, I offer free shipping. People like to charge for shipping, but me personally, I like to offer free shipping. I think customers like it better, and it helps with conversion. I saw your last video. You said for new Etsy shops, we should shoot for at least 150 items to make some kind of profit. So far, I have 84, but no sales yet, unfortunately. Cool. So, with that, I want to clarify that there's no magic number on Etsy. I've seen shops with 10 listings that have done very well, and it's just because they had the right mockups, the right design, the right SEO. They're doing everything correctly so that they were selling. It really does come down to the quality of your design and just how nice it is. And if someone wants it, they'll buy it. So I don't want you guys to think if you hit 100 listings that automatically you're going to start making a ton of money on Etsy. That's not the case. But if you have 100 really high quality listings with all of the right ingredients to have success, you will start to see an increase in sales and an increase in profit. But my biggest advice I can give for you is make sure that you're doing your keyword research. You're using proven keywords that are ranking on the first page. Make sure you're doing your trend research. You can't overlook trend research. You have to be designing things that people want. And if you don't know how to do trend research, go and watch my 6 free ways to find t-shirt trends. I walk you through all the different methods that I personally use to find t-shirt trends. And then also you need to have really nice high quality mockups. That is a game changer for getting that first click in search results to stand out on the first few pages to get them to click through your store in hopes of converting them to a sale. But you just have to have the right ingredients in order to have success on Etsy. But if you do the things that I teach you on my channel, I walk you through step by step everything that you need to do from beginning to end to start opening your shop, getting it up, and to start making daily sales. But just keep at it. That's awesome. You have 84 sales. Very impressive. Keep with it and don't get discouraged. Stay consistent, and good things will come. I have to run into work. Wish I could watch now, but I will check in later. Thanks for the vids. No problem, Kimber Song. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Jonathan, by the way. Thank you very much for all this info, Brennan. I want my Etsy shop to be successful. Awesome, Jonathan. Thank you for tuning in and for asking questions. It's good to have you here. I am blessed 2020. Would you recommend lowering price if you don't have any sales, then scale price back up? It is not a bad strategy at all. Something to consider, something to experiment with. You can easily lower your price so that you just break even. So match the price, your base cost on Printful, and then so that you're just breaking even, and then you can slowly increase as you get sales. I also highly suggest getting family members and friends, people outside of your home with different IP addresses to be able to purchase from your store, to show Etsy, hey, this listing was purchased, it converted, and then to get them to leave a 5-star review with a picture, and that will help build the foundation for your shop and for your listing. So that's my best recommendation I can give to you. But on top of that, that's a great strategy to consider is lowering the price and then slowly increasing it. And really, just with Etsy, it's all about experimenting, figuring out what works best for you, trying to figure out what price point works, what mockups work. Look at your stats, look at the data that Etsy provides. You can go and look at your stats and see exactly what keywords people are using to find your shop, your listings, seeing what ones are doing well, what ones are converting, and then just always be learning, improving, and implementing. And as you do that, you're guaranteed to start to have success. It may not come in a few days or overnight, but over time, you will have success if you are always disciplining yourself to learn, improve, and implement. Is there a document with a list of base cost prices for each item in different location countries? Yes. So if you go to Printful and just search, I forget exactly what you search, but you search like Printful pricing or whatever it is. They'll give you the cost of each product that they offer. So for their sweatshirts, their t-shirts, their tote bags, and location. If you ask this question, POD Designs, in the comment section down below, I can send you a link for that. But if you just search Printful prices, you'll be able to find it very easily. I'm sorry, I don't have it off the top of my head, but ask it in the comment section down below after this live stream, and I'll get you a link. Henrietta, good to have you here. I get visits, but it doesn't convert to sales. Can you do a shop review, please? Cool. Yeah, I would love to do a shop review. I plan to do one every month or so. So maybe message me on the Facebook group and we can possibly set things up for that. But if you're getting visits, but it doesn't convert to sales, I would consider a few things. So maybe it's your price point isn't correct. They don't like your price point. Maybe they don't like your shipping structure. So are you offering free shipping or charging for shipping? Another thing, maybe just all of the information isn't there. They don't know, is this a Gillen shirt or a Bella Canvas shirt? What's it made? What is it made of? What is your shipping and processing times? There could be little things like that that could be turning them off to where they're not certain. They don't have all the necessary information, so they just leave your listing. Um, but if you're getting visits, most likely your mockup is decent. They like your mockup because they're clicking on it. But it's once they get to their shop, is where you're not converting them. So I'd consider just looking at those things that I mentioned, your description, seeing if you have all the necessary information. And then reviews, if you don't have reviews yet, but you've had sales, make sure you're asking your customers for reviews to get those first few reviews because social proof is the best way to convert someone on a listing. If they see this listing and then there's a review with it with a picture and it looks identical to your mock-up photo, then more than likely they're going to purchase if they're interested in that product. Hey, Mary, welcome to the live stream. Good to have you here. Any other questions from you guys? Smaller group today, so if you have questions, now's the time to ask them. I can answer any question that you have. And if you're getting value in this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe so that you can be aware of new content. So until I get more questions, there's another thing. Okay, wait, hold on. So Henrietta, I offer free shipping, but it may be maybe prices. I had about 10 sales and about 6 reviews. Awesome. So you are off to a you're off to a great start, Henrietta. You're on the move to start to do really well. 10 sales and 6 reviews. So 4 people didn't leave a review, possibly. Not bad at all. So consider changing your prices. I'm curious, what are your prices at, Henrietta? What are you charging for a t-shirt or for a sweatshirt or whatever product it is that you're selling? All right, until we hear back from Henrietta, I'll talk about a few things. So, with the holiday season, I mentioned it's an awesome time to sell, a great time to make good money on Etsy, but you need to be aware that it will be very saturated. So, you have to figure out creative, unique ways to create a design that will set yourself apart from the other designs. So, you can't just do a happy Halloween design. You got to do something very niche specific and even consider trend combining. If you're not trend combining, it'll be very difficult to set yourself apart. So, take 2 different trends, 2 different niches, combine them into one design, and it will help set yourself apart in search results, and it will help your shop stand out and hopefully start to increase sales. So you got to think of creative ways, combining palettes, color palettes, combining popular fonts, popular graphics that are currently trending, and then taking 2 or 3 different niches, bringing them into one. So, an example, taking mothers and then combining it with Halloween, taking doctors, combining it with Halloween, or whatever it is. You get the idea of taking football, combining it with Halloween, or just taking multiple niches into one design. And it'll help you really stand out on the Etsy marketplace. Okay, Henrietta. So $24.99 for a t-shirt. So that's a great price, Henrietta. You will not have issues at that price point. But if you want to do the strategy that was mentioned earlier from, I believe, I Am Blessed 2020, lowering the price to just break even, and then you can slowly increase the price once you start to have more sales. It's something you can consider. But at this point, Henrietta, it sounds like if you've had 10 sales, it's just a process of rinsing and repeating now. And you've had 6 reviews. I assume they were all positive 5-star reviews. Just keep designing, adding listings. The more listings you have, the more opportunities you have to be found. With that being said, though, they have to be very high quality professional listings. All right, Dracula playing football. LOL. Awesome idea. Yeah, that is a awesome idea of trend combining right there. Taking Dracula playing football. Thing you need to be careful with though with Dracula, just be aware of trademarks and copyrights before designing anything. Anytime you're doing your trend research, doing your designing, I always check uspto.gov. Make sure nothing's trademark, or make sure what I'm designing isn't trademarked before I start the designing process. But that's an exact example of how to trend combine. um, Jonathan, right? Jay's Fandom Nation. So thank you for that input. Can you use the same SEO from bestseller, or do you have to still change it up? Okay, if you're referring to another shop owner's bestseller, I would never copy someone else's title and SEO. Never copy it. Just pull specific keywords from it to curate your own SEO and your own title, your own tags. But never, never, never copy paste another seller's title. Okay, you got to respect other sellers, but you can consider pulling specific keywords. So take 2 or 3 keywords from this bestseller, another keyword or two from another bestseller, or just listings that are ranking well on the first page to create your own title, but never copy it. So, and with that, also just don't overthink it. Just think like a buyer. I just did a video. If some of you haven't seen it yet, I talked about SEO, how I find my proven keywords on the Etsy marketplace. That was my last video that I just did. So make sure you go and check that out if you haven't yet. There's a few tips in there that you might like and may help you. Not may, it will help you if you apply it to your Etsy shop and to doing your keyword research. Yeah, absolutely true. I'm thinking of trend combining. Okay, cool. Yeah, if you're not trend combining and you're just doing a basic design that's just has one pumpkin and says Happy Halloween or whatever, it'll be very difficult to stand out in the saturated market on Etsy. But with it being so saturated, there's still so much opportunity for people just like you and I to make money on Etsy if we're willing to put in the work and figure out creative ways to create a unique design that someone would want. Monica, good to have you here. I am new to POD. I just started an Etsy shop. I made my first sale after a few weeks. I don't quite understand how the money side of it works. Printful charges me instead of taking it from Etsy. Awesome, Monica. Monica, so welcome to the POD world and to the Etsy marketplace world. That's really cool that you took you took action and started your shop. And congrats on getting a first sale after a few weeks. I didn't get my first sale until a few months, so very impressive. Um, on the pricing side of things, Monica, the way it works is Etsy. So a customer finds a product that you like, they place an order from your store, and then that money will go to you, and they'll go to whatever bank account you have set up or however you have your payment options set up. And then after that, you will go and fulfill that order on Printful. If you have it on automatic fulfillment, once that order is synced with Printful, they'll charge your card that you have on file on the Printful side, and that will be withdrawn from your card or your bank, and then that order is fulfilled. So technically, you're paying for the order, but it is with the customer's money. But because Etsy doesn't deposit money into well, for either a business day or 2 business days or whatever you have your um, payout set up to, you won't receive that money until later. So technically, you're using your own money to fulfill that order, but you are getting paid once Etsy deposits it into your bank. So that was kind of a mouthful and not very clear, but I hope that answered your question for you. So um, yeah, long story short, customer buys, you get paid by customer, but you have to wait until that gets deposited into your bank a few days later, whatever your payment schedule is. You go and purchase that order just like a regular customer almost on Printful. You get the item fulfilled, and then that gets shipped to your customer, and then your card is charged whatever file you have, whatever card you have on file on Printful. If that answered your question, Monica, let me know. If not, please let me know so I can better clarify that. Talking about pricing though as well, Monica. Okay, cool. So talking about pricing on Printful, if you are on using Printful, you can set up your Printful wallet, which I highly suggest doing. You whatever card you have on file there, you just set up your Printful wallet, have an auto charge whatever price you want. So you can do $50, $100, $500, $1,000. Higher the volume you're doing, obviously, the higher you'd want to have withdrawn. Um, but this way makes it really nice because rather than having multiple individual transactions on your card, you can just have this bank account essentially on your Printful wallet where it gets withdrawn from that. And then once that runs out, they'll just auto charge it again so that it refills. But I highly suggest doing that because it's way easier on the finance side of it and the accounting side of it later to have just or just like one lump sum of transactions of $500 or whatever you have it set up to, rather than individual orders of $13 for each order that comes in. And the more volume you start to do, you'll understand how important that is and how helpful and beneficial that is. Okay. I tried to donate on Super Chat. I didn't see a PayPal button. Oh, thank you, Connie. I'm not sure if I have it set up correctly or if I even have it set up, but I appreciate your willingness wanting to do that. I'm really grateful for your support. But yeah, just you can support by giving this video a thumbs up and making sure you're subscribed and making sure you're in the Facebook group. But thank you so much, Connie, for your willingness to do that. Any other questions from you guys? I'll be on for another 5 minutes answering any questions you have related to print on demand, selling on the Etsy marketplace, the holiday season coming up, questions that you have. I want to answer and make this as beneficial as possible for you. All right. So I'll answer a few questions that I get often on my channel and in my Facebook group. So one thing I want to talk about, I guess, isn't a question. I guess it is a question, but people will always ask me, I've had my shop open for X amount of weeks. Why have I had no sales yet? I just want you guys to know how important it is to stay patient and consistent on Etsy. It is a long term game. You have to be in it for the long haul. You have to be daily uploading listings. You have to be daily improving, doing the things that will help build your shop out, that will help buyers want to purchase from you. And as you stay consistent, things will come, good things will come, I promise you. And I can say that because it's happened to me. I remember my first stages of opening my shop. It was very slow at start, a little discouraging. You'll have days where it's very discouraging, where you make no sales or whatever it is starting out. But as long as you stick with it and keep learning, watching videos, learning from other sellers, being involved in Facebook groups and everything necessary to be the best that you can be, you will start to have success as long as you apply it and discipline yourself. But you have to be patient and consistent. That's the biggest factors of having success, really, with anything in life, but specifically on the Etsy marketplace. Okay, how do I see what I profited on Etsy? Do they provide a breakdown? So on Etsy, they don't have a breakdown of your profit, but on Printful, you can see a profit of what you make. So if you're only using Printful, this is why I like Printful versus Printify, because you have a really good user face dashboard with all this necessary information. So you can go and see your profits. And the way that you go there, let me pull this up real quick. So on your Printful dashboard, you'll go to My Printful at the top of your dashboard, and then you can look at your stats for the month, and you can break it down to however you want. So it'll tell you your orders for today, the last 28 days, and you can hit see detailed statistics. This may not help you because you have to remember it, but you can ask me in the questions down below and I'll get you this information later. And then you can see all of your stats, items that have sold, your total profit, your total costs, and it has a really good breakdown of everything that you need to know to see your profits. Another thing I suggest, Monica, is looking at investing in QuickBooks Self-Employed. They have it integrated with Etsy, so it makes it really easy. And it's very helpful, especially when it comes to taxes, to have everything organized. And even with QuickBooks, just from a day-to-day basis, you can see your total profits and you can see your month profits. You can see your total costs, track everything. It makes it very easy. Okay. So it is not too late to create Halloween designs. No, it's not. You're at the tail end of it, but it is not too late. I highly suggest getting on top of it now, Iris, to start having Halloween sales, because really the cutoff date for Halloween is going to be after the first week of October or so, in order for things, maybe 2 weeks after October, to ensure things are printed and shipped and arrived in time for Halloween. But yeah, if you have not done any Halloween yet, make sure you start today, adding as many listings you can for to prep yourself for Halloween and for fall. So I would consider doing not just specific Halloween. You can have a handful of things that are specific to Halloween, um, but also do a lot of fall themed things to prep for this next few months. Do you suggest doing, for instance, Facebook ads? So I haven't done much with Facebook ads, honestly, for my POD shop on Etsy. If you're tech savvy in that area and you're good with ads, you can consider it. Um, or if you just want to learn that, it's a great skill set to have, especially with any business. But for me personally, or for you, I would suggest just focusing on really good trend or really good designs and really good SEO. That's the beauty of Etsy is you have this organic marketplace with thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are coming to this marketplace to shop, and you can rank organically and get traffic organically without having to pay for ads for Facebook ads or any type of ads. And obviously, the more your item sells, the better it will rank. So starting out, I would focus on putting all your time and effort into doing really good proven SEO um, versus spending money on ads. But if it's something you want to learn, you can consider doing. I was editing a listing and deleted the SKU for one variation by mistake. How do I get that item SKU back? So I don't believe there's a way to recover that SKU, especially if you published the listing already. But if you have all the necessary information, the SKU, not having the SKU will not be a deal breaker for you. I have a lot of listings, especially with the issue when you push something as a women's and it shows as women's, but you want it to be unisex. If you edit that variant, you'll lose all the SKU numbers. Um, and without them, you're not going to have any issues as long as you have your items synced on Printful from your Etsy shop. So I wouldn't worry about it, but I don't think there's a way to recover it. If there is, and I figured out, I'll be sure to let you know POD designs. Cool. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. If you found value in this live stream, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If I didn't answer any of your questions, please ask them in the comment section down below after this live stream, as well as in the Facebook group Print on Demand Warriors. The link is in the description and you can ask your questions there. But if you didn't get your questions answered, I will happily answer them in the next live stream, which will be in 2 weeks from now, or on my channel or my Facebook group. But thank you guys for tuning in. Fun to have a community like we have. It's a small community, but I feel like we have a very positive, tight knit community that really helps everyone. And it's fun to see us all come together and help us reach our personal goals. So have a great quarter 4. Get your Halloween designs up. Start designing for Thanksgiving. Consider designing for Christmas. And don't be lazy during this period because there's a lot of opportunity to make a lot of good money. But stay safe, stay healthy, have a wonderful weekend, and take care. Thanks.